Hello, dear listeners. Welcome back to another reading. My name is Socks, and today I'll be reading to you Oh Dear by friendlyrandomperson on Tumblr. This is an adorable little Frankly Dear story about the nervousness that comes with a fairly new relationship. If you like what you hear today, please consider giving our author a follow to read many, many more stories like this one. And if you like my voice in particular, please consider subscribing and turning on notifications. And with that, let's get on to the story. Enjoy.
Eddie dear, I don't mean to pry, but I do wonder, what do you like about Frank?
I don't mind at all, Poppy. I guess I never really thought about it.
Well, what is it you like most about him?
Oh, he's kind, he's smart, he's real interesting. A sheepish smile works its way onto the mailman's face. He's gorgeous, too. Every day I tell him that. I don't need to, but I do anyway. He don't know everything I like about him.
Like what, dear?
The way his eyes light up when a pretty critter flies by or pops up on a Lyco or soul, you know, the tomato plants.
Ah, yes.
The way his voice carries through the air, so smooth and so sweet. The way he laughs, his smile looks like it's reaching for the heavens. Eddie smiles, his cheeks growing warm. Oh, that smile of his is adorable. His cheeks go even more red than usual, if you can believe it.
I couldn't possibly believe that.
It's true. It grows redder than an apple in an orchard. It's sweet.
Well, now I can understand you, dear.
I'm glad, Pops. Although, I am wondering, what's got y'all curious?
Oh, Feathers, I suppose you should know. It's about Frank. You see, I overheard him at Howdy's talking to someone. Oh, who was it now? Ah, yes, he was simply gushing over you to Julie, and I wondered what you had to say about him.
What? Poppy glances over at the clock and squawks, shooing Eddie out of the door with frantic apologies, as she had not realized how late it had gotten. The door shut behind Eddie, who had only just now had time to process what Poppy has said. In the darkness of the evening, Eddie's heart skipped a beat. He never knew Frank was so vocal about how much he cared. Eddie wondered what Frank thought about him. He wasn't much, just a simple mailman doing his job. Frank was everything. Oh, he was just wonderful. Thoughtful, sweet, punctual, organized. The best man that the world had to offer. And to think he chose Eddie. It's enough to get the redhead's heart pounding. His face going from lightly tinted red, like the soft glow of a home-warming light would cast, to full-blown Lyco in the summertime red. Oop, speaking of the mailman, he realized he had not moved. And according to his watch, it was 7:30 at night and he should probably get going.
Eddie! What are you doing out here?
A high-pitched, peppy voice startled the local mailman, just as he had put his foot out, causing him to stumble and fall down Poppy's stairs, landing on the grass below. Fast, light footsteps approach Eddie, followed by being picked up by his shirt collar in a manner similar to a cat being held up by its scruff. His eyes met the eyes of no other than Julie Joyful, the town's rainbow monster and the most peppy neighbor there is. Fast, slightly louder footsteps follow, and he sees his spouse running up to Julie, who is still holding Eddie up like a cat.
Mr. Dear.
Soft, gentle.
What are you doing out here so late? I thought you were back at the post office.
Kind, amused. Well,
Oh, Frank, that doesn't matter at all. He'll have to stay at your place tonight.
Without letting the entomologist or the mailman speak up about the whole situation, Julie marches over to Frank's doorstep and plops Eddie down straight onto the welcome mat, brushing her hands together up and down before brushing off her dress and placing her hands on her hips. Turning her head around to meet the out-of-breath man behind her, Julie grins.
Well, Frankie, I gotta go now. Bye. Bye, Eddie. Have fun at your sleepover.
Julie runs off, waving behind herself before her door slams shut, leaving Frank and Eddie alone outside, the sound of the crickets providing a pleasant melody to the night. A soft smile pulls at the edges of the standing man's face as he walks over and gently takes the taller man's hand in his own.
Come inside, dear. It's late.
An hour passes, and now our neighbors are sporting their pajamas. Frank in a lavender two-piece with a silk bow tie, and Eddie in simply a white t-shirt and purple pants. Their limbs intertwined as they lay on the couch, the only light coming from one of the lamps on the small table beside the plush couch, a small little wooden thing on the right. Frank has his head resting on Eddie's chest, the smaller man's breathing stable, slow and quiet. Peaceful. His eyes are closed, but he is not sleeping. No, sleep will not come to him. He is awake, but Eddie has no clue. The orange man has been stuck not moving for 5 minutes because he does not want to wake up our gray neighbor. Eddie hears a soft voice, muffled and unclear.
You're quite comfortable. Did you know this?
What was that, Pumpkin? Frank smiles groggily at the pet name, lifting his head to look up at his boyfriend.
You are very comfortable. Did you know this?
Eddie's face flushes red, a giddy smile appearing on his face as he covers it with his right hand. Oh, shucks, darling. I can't say I did. Frank snorts, shoving his face back into Eddie's chest to muffle his laughter. The lanky man's shoulders shaking. The broader man looks at his partner in admiration. Wow. His partner. Wow. A deep whisper. I'm so lucky to have you. Frank's face flushes crimson, glancing up and accidentally startling Eddie. His expression in blush softens, his mouth curving into a gentle smile as he cups Eddie's face with his right hand, his thumb mindlessly stroking his cheek. A small giggle escapes Frank. Eddie just looks so cute. He always did.
I say, I'm luckier.
Frank responds, amused by Eddie's flustered expression right after. A peaceful silence washes over the two, both of them smiling, each detail of each other's eyes being noted. The way the other's eyes shines in the light, the way their eyes squint when they smile. Eddie glances down at Frank's lips and pauses. Is it too soon to ask? The tips of his ears grow red at the thought. There was something so special about it. Frank was rarely physically affectionate outside of cuddling or holding hands with the larger man. Would Frank even consider it? Eddie would never want to overstep. He cares for Frank, and the thought of making him uncomfortable was far too much. Eddie's nervousness did not go unnoticed. The thinner man follows his gaze, figuring out he is staring directly at his lips. Oh, that's odd. What could he possibly... Oh. Frank decided to glance down at Eddie's lips, noticing how Eddie is biting his bottom lip. That's cute, Frank thinks, his smile growing just a smidge. Darling, can I ask you something? Eddie's voice was low, hesitant, like one wrong word would shatter everything. This was a large thing to ask, even if they have been dating for 8 months.
Of course, dear.
Can I, Eddie looks away from Frank's lips, choosing to look at the floor instead. Come on, Eddie, you can do this.
Eddie takes a deep breath in, his eyes pressed shut, trying to calm himself down enough to let the words fall out. He turns back to Frank, meeting his eyes and nervously glancing back and forth between the floor and him, before settling for keeping eye contact. He wasn't talking to the floor.
And may I kiss you, please?
Frank snickers quietly, nodding gently. Yes, Eddie. Eddie's face immediately lit up, his nervousness going down just a little bit.
You mean it?
I mean it. Frank's smile was gentle but eager, as if he had been waiting for this moment for years. In a way, he had. They both had feelings for each other for a very long time, 5 years to be exact, before they got together. Eddie shuffles, sitting up, making sure Frank was comfortable. Once he noticed Frank was perfectly fine, he placed his hands on his shoulders lightly, careful with his movements. He then realized he had absolutely zero clue what he was doing. Oh no. Eddie did not think this through at all, did he? Are you alright, dear?
Yep, fit as a fiddle.
Frank places his hands on Eddie's shoulders, mimicking his partner. I should probably close my eyes, Frank realizes, noting that he probably seemed quite silly keeping his eyes open, furrowing his brows slightly.
If you don't wanna, that's alright,
Eddie assures, loosening his grip on Frank's shoulders. Frank's eyebrow raises quickly, his expression changing into something more surprised. No, I want to, it's just... Frank hesitates, his eyebrow furrowing once more, glancing down at Eddie's neck. I've never done this before. All of the tension immediately washed away, replaced by a wave of relief. Eddie sighs, a soft smile replacing his concerned frown.
Whew, I thought I was the only one.
Frank's head shoots upward, his mouth agape, and his eyebrows so far up it might as well have flown off. Eddie laughs, placing his hands back on Frank's shoulders.
I was worried I'd disappoint you,
the man exclaims, his eyes shimmering in the soft orange glow of the lamp. Frank stifles a laugh at his boyfriend's reaction, tightly closing his eyes and covering his mouth with his right hand, his shoulders quivering as he tries to hold himself together. He opens one eye to see Eddie, who is looking at him with his eyebrows raised. Once Eddie notices Frank is looking at him, he wiggles his eyebrows and causes Frank's held-together attitude to crack. His laughter so carefree, the world seemed to slow, even just for a moment. Eddie had the opportunity to simply admire the beauty that he could call his spouse. The way his shoulders shook, the way his eyebrow furrowed, the way his eyelashes turned up as if they too were smiling. Frank finally caught his breath, sighing before he shimmied a little bit, sitting up straighter, just like before, gazing up at his partner with the kindest smile in the world. "Are you ready?" Frank inquired, his hands limp on Eddie's shoulders. Eddie tightens his grip on Frank's shoulders just a little, firm but not harsh.
If you are.
Frank closes his eyes and takes a deep breath in, slowly letting out the air and his worries opening his determination-filled eyes. He leans forward just a tad, the distance between their faces so close it taunted them both. Eddie slightly moves forward, bumping his nose into Frank's.
Oh, sorry, darling.
It's okay. They both giggle for a moment, falling into a calm silence for just a second before Frank spoke up. Maybe... He turns his head to the right, just enough to prevent their noses from bumping again. Eddie does the same, just to the other side, closing his eyes and pausing, waiting for anything to tell him that Frank was ready. Frank exhaled softly, closing his eyes and also signaling to Eddie that this was okay. Eddie leans forward, their lips pressing together hesitantly at first, accidentally knocking their teeth together, pulling back to fix it. But soon the two relaxed.
Frank wrapping his arms around Eddie as the kiss lingered for a moment. Eddie pulling back as he forgot to breathe. Frank snickers softly at this before being cut off with another, less awkward smooch, their lips parting slightly as they molded together, a smile growing on both of their faces. Aside from being an amazing and attractive person, Eddie likes another thing about Frank. He's a great kisser.